Good morning. Good morning. I hope you have your coffee with you. Good morning. It's Saturday, December 13th. A big milestone for me today. And I thought, what a better fitting way to celebrate than to go live with everybody. Let me go to the live here. Let me find it. Make sure you can see me and hear me. There we are. The live here. Let me find it. Make sure you can see me and yes, you can see me. You can hear me. There we are. Let me just type good morning. Vicky. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning. Cheers. Cheers on this Saturday morning. I know it's cold where you are. It's chilly here for us. It is 42 degrees out, but it's warm here in my gym. Hey, Terry. Good morning. Great to see you here. Yeah, it's 7:30 on Saturday morning, December the 13th. And today, I'm celebrating my 15-year transformation journey. 15 years ago today, which, I don't know, pinch me. Where is the time gone? I took my very first before picture of myself the day I started my journey. Good morning, Marcia. Good morning, Sharia. Good morning, Betsy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Everybody's got their coffee, their tea. Maybe you're having a protein shake. Maybe you're having some oatmeal and blueberries and eggs. Good morning. Good morning. I know some more people will be coming in. Hey, Ann. Hey, Jamie and Terry. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, I think that we need to celebrate our small wins and our big wins, right? And when you're trying to turn your health around, you know, you need to recognize all of the baby steps and all the small things that you've done along the way and celebrate your wins. And for me, today is a huge win, because if you would have told the 50-year-old woman that she was going to turn her health around and be strong and fit and healthy when she was 67, I mean, I would have told you were nuts. What are you talking about? And I thought, how fitting would it be on my 15-year anniversary to just celebrate it and share with you my journey, share with you how my journey began, first of all. Betsy, that's okay. Betsy, I'm going to post this video back up so you'll be able to see it on replay on my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see it if you have to leave. Hey, Mary Pat, good morning. So let's go back 15 years. December 13th, right, 2010. I took my very first transformation before picture. And that's one of the things that you do. You have to take a hard look at yourself and know where you're starting from. So here's my story. Back in 2009, I got married. And my husband and I moved to Houston with his job. We loved Houston. And we ate out probably, I don't know, sometimes 3 times a day on the weekends. We ate out dinner at night. ate out lunch. You know, we loved Houston. We loved the restaurants. We loved the basketball games, going to see the Houston Rockets. I mean, we just loved Houston. And exercise and eating healthy was like the farthest thing from my mind. I've never thought about eating healthy and exercising. So at 52 years old, all this was new to me. And what happened was, my husband had a medical emergency, okay? So we're sitting in his hospital room, and the doctor comes in, and he looks at both of us, and he says, if you two, he says, I understand you two are newlyweds. And we looked at each other and we were like, yeah, we are. You know, like two little kids. We were like, yeah, we're newlyweds, you know. And we're both beaming, you know, happy, rolling around with the joy of that feeling. And he said, well, I want to tell you something. If you two plan to spend the rest of your lives together and lead a happy, healthy life together and have a long marriage, you need to turn your health around. You need to start exercising and taking better care of yourself. And I looked over at John and he looked at me and my eyes welled up in tears. Like I was so moved. I was just like, wow. Because I never, growing up and during my lifetime, I wasn't around people that exercised. I didn't have role models that I wasn't around healthy people that ate healthy and talked about health and wellness and all that. I just didn't, that just wasn't in me, like whatever. You know, we don't know what we don't know, right? So when the doctor told me that, told us that, my husband was discharged and we went home. We weren't home 5 minutes. And John said to me, get me a piece of paper and a pencil. I'm going to write a book down for you. I want you to go to the bookstore. Now, back then, we went to the bookstore. And he said, I want you to go to the bookstore and buy this book. And I want you to read it. And I want you to let me know if you're going to be on board with me. And I didn't know what he was talking about. Well, the book he was talking about was this book, Body for Life. He said, I want you to go buy this book, Body for Life. I want you to read it, and I want you to get on board with me. I'm going to ask you to get on board with me. Hi, Erica. Good morning. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, Erica. Thank you, Terry. So I grabbed my purse, hopped in the car, went to the bookstore, and bought Body for Life by Bill Phillips. So I'm standing there at the bookstore, and you guys, I have goosebumps sharing this with you because I'm standing there at the bookstore and I'm opening it up, and I'm seeing these pictures of people with muscles. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. I don't want to look like, we don't know what we don't know, you guys. I didn't know. And all I saw was like this stuff, you know. I was like, it intimidated me. It scared me. All the things that we don't know, right? We don't know. And so I read the book, all right? I read the book. I loved my husband. I'm going to stand by him and I'm going to help him. I'm going to help him get healthy and fit. Okay, you see where my mind's going? He asked me to help him. Get the book, read the book. Will you support me? Will you do this with me? But it was all about him and getting him healthy. So I read the book and we began exercising. And he told me, he said, we're going to have to get up early in the morning and go to the gym because I need to exercise before I go to work. Y'all, I was not a morning person. I never have been a morning person. I was not a morning person. I did not find joy getting up bright and early in the morning and shuffling down to the gym to go exercise. I was grumpy. I complained. I didn't like it. I wanted to stay in my cozy, warm bed. And on some days, I was not a very happy person. But you know what I did? I went with him because I promised him I would go with him and do this. So we started exercising. Hey, Robin. Robin, let's see here. Hang on, y'all. Somebody's trying to find the live. There we go. Okay. So, hey, Terry. Good morning. Margaret, good morning. I see you. Good morning. So we started going to the gym exercising. Now listen, as I said, I never exercised a day in my life. I didn't know anything really. Didn't know anything about form and equipment or any of that. But anyway, we went to the gym and John's kind of helping me and showing me, and we would start exercising. And we had to go to the park to do the cardio, to walk. He said, let's go to the park and walk. So we would go to the park and walk. And let me tell you, walking around the Memorial Park in Houston, it's like a 3-mile loop. And I was worried where the car was. Where did we park the car? Am I going to make it back to the car? I never walked 3 miles. And, you know, here I am, 52 years old, learning how to exercise and take care of myself for my husband to help him, right? I'm doing this to help him. So we go through this for several months, right? Well, during this time, I start to see changes in myself. All of a sudden, I like getting up in the morning and exercising. I'm enjoying the way my body's feeling. I have more energy. And I'm enjoying the food. And I'm thinking to myself, the light bulb kind of went off on one day. Here's the day the light bulb went off for me. We were at the park and we did this walk run. So we would walk for 30 seconds and jog for 10 seconds. And John had a timer and he would push the timer and he'd say, okay, the timer's on, 10 seconds, jog. And we would jog for 10 seconds. Believe me, that was the longest 10 seconds of my life. And I would always wait. Did the timer beep? Is it time to stop? I would ask him all the time. Is it time to walk? Can I walk now? But one day, we built up to jogging for 15 seconds. Then we would go 20 seconds. So we would walk for 30 seconds and jog for 15 or 20 seconds, and we'd walk. See, we did it a little bit at a time over time of months, okay? Not weeks, but months. And I mean, it got to the point sometimes we would go home after doing that and I'd have to take a nap. I was tired. You know what I mean? It was like very hard for me. But on this one day, we're doing the jog. We're doing our jog, and the beeper went off, and he said, okay, and I was up in front of him, and he said, okay, Kim, you can walk now. And I turned around and I said, do I have to stop? That's right. I turned around and looked at him and I said, do I have to stop? He was like, no, keep going, keep going. That moment, the athlete inside of me was born. I had no idea that I could run. I had no clue I had it in me. And it was in me all the time. She was inside of me the whole time. I didn't know she was in there. We don't know what we don't know. You don't know until you try. You don't know until you try. And I was so scared to start exercising and doing all these things. It scared me. It scared me. And I think until we try, we just don't know. And that's I have goosebumps when I think about that day, because that day turns into me running 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, marathons. And that's the day it began. That's also the day where my why changed. And if there's one thing I want to get across to everybody, if you want to turn your health around, it begins up here. You've got to get your mind straight. You've got to get your mind straight. You've got to understand your purpose for doing it, your why, your goals, your dreams. You've got to get your mind squared away, which is where journaling comes in. Now, I will admit, when we first started, we were keeping track of the workout thing, but I wasn't doing all the journaling stuff yet. You know, it was like baby steps. You got to do a little bit at a time. Okay, so I read the book, but we just started exercising. But once I started running and got better in the gym, my body was changing. My body composition was changing. And here's the thing, my why changed. In the beginning, as I mentioned to you, my why was for my husband, because he asked me to help him, because the doctor said, you two need to turn your health and fitness, you need to turn your health around if you want to be together for a long time. But he was the one that had the emergency, and so I'm thinking it's for him. I'm doing this for him. But that day that I found the athlete inside of me, and I saw that I could run, and I felt just on top of the world, and I was so elated. I was so happy. I was so proud of myself. I realized I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me. So my why shifted. And in my early days of journaling, I wrote all of this down. And if you're not journaling, you need to start journaling, because that's the only way that you understand what you're doing and what's going on and how to move forward, and looking back at what you can change and what you can do better. One thing you can do better the next day. But that's where my why changed, and your why is super important. Now, my whys have changed over the years, but that's when the why switched from focusing on him to focusing on me. It's my journey. One thing too, when you're working with someone, like when you're exercising with a friend, if you're a mother and a daughter exercising together and going, turning your health around together, or a husband and wife, or best friends, or best buddies, whatever, or you're on a team. Team is really important. So when there's power in the team, and here's the power. The days early on when I didn't want to get up in the morning, my husband and I made a promise to each other. If I don't feel like working out and you ask me to go to the gym, I'm going to go. I'm going to honor my word to you, and I'm going to show up. That got me in the gym. Did I want to be there? The hardest step was that first step, getting in the gym. After I was there, I was fine. But getting there was not fun. But I promised him I would go, and I went. I honored my word to myself. And that is so important. Okay, Robin, very good. Glad you found it. Glad you're here, Robin. Jamie says, me too, you're not a morning person. Yeah, I was not. I am now. Hey, I would have done this live at 4 a.m. And then I'm thinking, wait, go live at 4 a.m. Nobody's going to, there's not many people up at 4 a.m. But anyway, 7:30. I compromised. 7:30. So here we are. But anyway, getting back to that, your why is super important. And because we made that pinky promise with each other, I showed up and created the habit, because the only way you're going to turn your bad habits into a healthy habit to achieve your goals is by consistency and showing up. And you've got to be disciplined to show up when you don't feel like it. And early on, that's one of the things that helped me, or that's one of the things that was happening. I didn't realize it at the time, but as time passed and as I became more knowledgeable and understood everything, I was like, wow, that was good. That was good. I'm glad I honored my word and I showed up even when I didn't feel like it. And bless my husband's heart, because he had to put up with me. He still has to put up with me. Yes, Mary Pat, purpose is very important. Yes, Erica, a good supportive team is important, definitely. And the other thing too, that in your mind, and here I'm talking about in your mind, I'm not talking about exercise form and all that stuff. I'm talking about up here, y'all. This is where it starts. You got to get your head on. The other thing was, as time passed, I wasn't saying I have to get up to get to the gym. I have to do this. I have to meal prep. I have to write in my journal. Oh my gosh, I have to go do my laundry because I have a week of workout clothes in there I got to wash. I started to say I get to work out. Gratitude. I get to go to the gym. I get to be outdoors and run. I have 2 legs that function. I get to wake up in the morning. Nobody has to dress me and feed me and help me get around. I am able-bodied. I get to. That is empowering. Gratitude, that's the other reason why you need to be journaling every day. You've got to put those thoughts on paper and your gratitude down. And when you do, it's empowering and you're going to show up. Consistency is where it's at, right? So you have to have a purpose and a reason. But the fact is that we get to show up. We get to be here today. I get to be here to celebrate my 15-year journey with you and share with you my story and my mistakes and all the things, because you know what, it's hard work. It's hard work, because if it was easy, everybody would be walking around fit and healthy, right? It's hard work. It's hard work. So the other thing that I in my story, in my journey, was that I'm worthy. And I think as a 52-year-old woman back then, now I'm 67, but back then, I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel capable. I didn't really like my body. Growing up, I was the tallest child in my class. I had big feet. All my girlfriends were dressed up all cute to go to dances, the school dances and the proms and everything. And I couldn't find cute shoes in a size 9, back then and in the 70s. And I don't know, I just look back on my childhood. I would stand all like hunched over. Now I stand straight and tall. Now I have good posture. In my before picture, I have very bad posture. Poor posture, just, when you start exercising, your body changes. It changes from inside out. And believe me, I can see it, I can feel it, and that's what keeps me going every day and showing up. And 15 years later, I'm still here and I'm still going strong, And I'm so excited and happy, and I can't wait to be 70. I can't wait to be 80, 90, 100, Is something going to happen? Sure. Stuff's going to happen to us. But you know what? By golly, I'm stronger now than I was when I was 52 years old when I started. And if something happens to me, I'm just going to buckle down lock in my mindset and do my best to get through it, and just pray to God I come out stronger than when I started. You know, being better equipped to handle things when it happens to me. You know, being able to save myself if I need to crawl on the floor. I can crawl and I can get up off the floor. You know, so you've got to think about all those things. Mary Pat said, yes, every time I surprise myself with energy you haven't had in a while, you pinch yourself. Being able when you have everything. Disability when you have a disability. Yes, I'm with you there, Mary Pat. Definitely, I'm with you. So that's, you know, if it wasn't for my husband and that issue, I don't know where I'd be today. I had never heard of Bill Phillips. Bill Phillips wrote Body for Life. How I got connected with the teams was John and I were going in a couple months. You know, we started in December. So I think it was January or February I found an online group. And I kind of plugged myself in there. And I had never really been engaged with groups online or, you know, I mean, I'm just kind of learning as I go along, right? So I kind of got plugged in, and then, you know, in July was when I hit my goal. July of 11 was when I hit my goal weight. And that I was plugged into the teams, and eventually, you know, we did make it to Denver. We got to meet Bill, and began really concentrating on education. And that's the other thing. We need to continuously be learning and growing. Again, mind. You need to be learning new things, developing, setting new goals, rewriting your dreams, where you want to be next month, next year, in 5 years, in 10 years, right? Looking ahead so that you have those to strive for. And in the journaling, you know, what gets measured gets managed. So you need to be writing all this stuff down. If you've got those goals to achieve, where are you at getting there, right? So it's very, very important. Mary Pat said she was there too, yeah. Sharia, John actually heard about Bill Phillips when he did the Body for Life competition. And John started lifting weights and doing it on his own. And I did not know John back then, right? So he had heard of Bill Phillips. I had never heard of him. I didn't know anything about, I wasn't in the realm of exercise or bodybuilding or lifting weights or anything. I didn't know anything about it. But my husband did. And so he's the one that, when the doctor said to him, hey, I want you guys need to start exercising and turning your health around if you want to have a long, happily married together, John said that was the first thing that popped in my mind, that we need to get this book and this is what we need to be doing. And so, yeah, so that's how John, I don't know, you know, exactly when John started exercising. I can't remember. I know he told me, but, you know, he had heard of Bill and his program. So, but, you know, going to Denver, gaining knowledge, broadening my horizons, so to speak, you know, I really understood what it meant to take care of my body and how to take care of my body for my husband, so my husband doesn't have to take care of me. I want to take care of myself for him, right? And so you have to have these strong whys. But I want to go ahead and share with you all some of my mistakes, because a lot of people, you know, here's the thing. I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, and I think mistakes help us to grow and become stronger. I welcome the mistakes that I made in my journey, and I still make them today. And so I want to talk to you about the mistakes that taught me the most. Taught me the most. The first mistake was overtraining. So early on, I'm all gung-ho. Man, I'm running, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing all the things, and I'm doing all the things tenfold. Because I'm like, oh, this is so great, I need to do more. And that was the worst thing I could do, because first of all, my joints, my legs hurt, my hips hurt, my ankles, my joint, I was overtraining. I did not feel good. I felt really run down. And I had physical burnout. My progress sort of stalled, if you know what I mean. I was kind of hitting the wall. It was too much for my body. My body wasn't recovering. And when you overtrain, you have increased risk of injury. And I was kind of borderline there. But once I realized what I was doing, and journaling helped me with this. Once I realized what I was doing, I just stuck to my plan. My one workout a day, what I was doing, if it was training for a marathon, that's what I did. I didn't overtrain. I just did exactly what I was supposed to do, and then I stopped. And it was hard to not overtrain because I was doing it for a while. So then I felt like I wasn't doing enough or doing anything, but I had to be patient with myself and understand that that was the right thing to do. So doing more isn't good. It's the quality. It's the quality of your training, not the quantity of your training. So that's what I learned. Okay? That's what I learned, because I didn't know. I thought more would be good. I didn't know. But once I understood it was the quality, not the quantity, then I got it. I'm like, okay, I get this. Now I know. All right? The second mistake was when I achieved my transformation goals, I hit my goal weight, and was in July of 2011, and I hit my goal weight, and I thought, oh, well, I'm done. That's what I said. I was like, wow, this is cool. It was July 4th. We lived in Houston. We came to Jacksonville to see our kids, and our kids hadn't seen us in a while, and they were like, oh my gosh, look at you guys. I mean, we transformed. They looked at us, they were like, oh my gosh. And, we reached our goal. And so I thought, well, I'm done. I'm done, man. I can go back to sleeping in and eating donuts on Sunday morning in bed, because that's what I used to do. John used to go buy donuts, and we'd lay in bed and read the newspaper and have coffee and donuts and lay around. And then we'd go out to eat for lunch. Then we'd go out to eat for dinner. Then we'd go get pie at midnight at the diner. Yeah, that's what we did. I thought, well, I can go back to doing all those things, right? And what I learned was, you're not done. You're just beginning. You're just beginning. This is for life. You don't stop. I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget that feeling. Terry, that's a good, yes, journaling. Journaling should be a good commitment, a good next step. Yes, I agree with you. You're not good at journaling. Well, you know what? You've got to start somewhere, and I bet you're good at it. I bet you're good at it. Journaling is a love letter to yourself. It's your personal journal, right? It's good. You're good at it for you. You're good at journaling for yourself, right? So give it a go. Terry said, when you say you can't make up a workout, you feel like you've cheated yourself, and you have. Yes, that's true. That's true. Yep. It makes you not want to miss. Good insight. So the pitfalls of, so I thought, well, yeah, I can stop. But then when I saw some old habits coming back in that I worked really hard to break. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. That doesn't sound like fun. That doesn't sound like fun. And I think my favorite thing of going from year to year, what I'm most proud of is my discipline. Because here it is, I started in, my picture was December 13th of 2010. Here it is, 2025 on December 13th. Discipline has carried me here. My discipline. That's it. Did I want to show up all these days? No. You know, some days, no. But I showed up. That's just plain old discipline, you know. Because I get to keep improving. I'm not starting over all the time. I'm not going to start over all the time. I just keep improving. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. So the mistake number 2 was thinking that I was finished at the end of my 12 weeks, or actually it took me till July. So July of 2011 is when I thought, oh, let's celebrate. We're done. We don't have to go to the gym in the morning, blah, 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 blah. You know what? We get to go to the gym, and we get to go, and we keep showing up. So even after my takeaway on that one is, even after you reach your goals, you don't stop. You keep showing up. It's for life. Your body wants to move every day and be active. Your body needs to be active every day. Your muscles need to be activated. You need to find and get a loving relationship with your dumbbells. I love my dumbbells. Yeah. It's up here, y'all. It's all up here. So, mistake number 3, I'll do it later. That was me in the beginning, y'all. I did not. John liked to work out early in the morning before work, but on the weekends, sometimes I'd be like, well, I'll just do it later. Well, later never happened. Because the next thing you know, I'm laying in bed at night and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't exercise today. I didn't do my meal prep today. The day just got away from me. Oh, I was so busy. I had to nip that in the bud because I learned the hard way. If I don't schedule time to do my meal prep, to do my workout, to do my journaling, it doesn't happen. And, you know, it all boiled down to early on, I wasn't a morning person. So I always thought, well, I'll just do it at lunch. I'll do it before I go to bed. And it never would happen. And I realized that, so now I just have boundaries, okay? But the procrastination, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on your growth, you miss out on achieving your goals. You have increased stress and anxiety when you do that. Don't do it. Just show up. Just do it. Just do it. Don't put it off and you do it later. Don't sit down and watch Netflix. Get up and do your meal prep because you're going to have lack of real progress. So procrastination is the enemy of progress. And you're not going to see progress when you just keep telling yourself that you're going to do it later. So that's my recommendation on that one. Yeah, procrastination. Don't put it off. You should have your schedule of time of day that you're going to do things. Have your hard boundaries. Here's the thing for me, and this is how I do it. I have hard boundaries around certain things in my life. Like, I work out at 6 a.m. That is a hard and fast. I show up at 6 a.m. and I do my exercise. Hard and fast. I go to bed at 8 o'clock. I have a boundary around my bedtime. If somebody invites me to dinner or all these things going on at night, fear of missing out, I let that go. I'll be happy to meet people for lunch, do early dinner, breakfast, whatever, but I have an 8 o'clock bedtime. And I let go of the fear of missing out. So I have hard boundaries around my healthy lifestyle. And I run my healthy lifestyle is first. Everything that goes on around me, I bring into my schedule. I don't run my healthy lifestyle around what's going on around me. I don't try to schedule in a workout because I have X, Y, and Z going on. Let me see when I can do my workout. I do my workout and I fit X, Y, and Z in around that. Do you see what I'm saying? So I do it backwards than what most people do. Mistake number 4 was overcomplicating the process. That was me in the kitchen. And meal prep was hard for me because I overcomplicated it. I'm trying to do all these complex things and all this stuff and doing all this, and it was taking me hours. You don't have to do that. I was my own worst enemy in the kitchen. Once I learned how to buy some gadgets that helped me meal prep faster and keep things super simple, I was successful. But the more I overthought it, I hit a wall. Overcomplicate it, analysis paralysis, that was me. Overcomplicating it. The thing is, too, I soaked up all this information and all this stuff and just, everything. Looking at this, looking at that. My girlfriend told me about this program. Somebody else was sharing this with me. There's all this stuff out there. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're on a plan and a program, you do that one thing. You don't do 8 other programs in your one program. You do your program, okay? And once I realized to keep it simple and not overcomplicate it, I achieved my goals. But early on, I was like all over the place with all kind of different things. Once I stuck to Body for Life, that was it. I just did Body for Life. I didn't do other programs, other things, eat other stuff. I didn't do, because we got into like juicing and all of these things early on, because, I'm trying to get healthy. I'm going to do this and this and this and this, pulling things from all these other areas when all I needed to do was stick to the Body for Life program. Simple. Keep it simple. So don't overcomplicate it. So what you need to do is just wipe your slate clean, stick to your one program, and that's what you do. And the thing too is people don't give enough time to see results. You need to be patient with yourself, and it takes time to see change. Change happens inside of us. We don't always see it on the outside right away, and people are impatient and they want a quick fix, and that's not how it works. And I think that's why they overcomplicate it and try to do all these things, because they're looking for a quick way out. Well, there isn't one. There isn't one. You need to put in the work and not overcomplicate it. Keep it super simple. Super simple. And that's what I do. I've been doing super simple most of my transformation. Early on is when I was crazy. But for the most part, I've kept it super simple. Super simple meals. My workouts are basic. I use dumbbells. I work out right here in my home gym, and I don't overcomplicate it. I'm actually pretty boring, and I'm in a routine. And I just focus and do my best every day, and I've maintained my strength. I'm actually stronger today than I was back then at 67. I'm stronger and healthier at 67 than I was at 52 when I started. Mistake number 5, the comparison trap. We all do this. And for me, early on, this was poison. This was poison to me. I would go to Memorial Park and run with all the runners, and I'd watch them. And I'd see people with earbuds in, running to music, and I thought, oh, I need to do that. That's what they're doing. Or what they were wearing. Oh, I need to wear that workout gear, and I need to do this, and I need to do... I was looking at what everybody else was doing, and instead of following what worked for me, you know what I'm saying? And I was comparing myself to others. And I think we have a tendency to do that. Also, I'll never forget this, at one of my transformation camps I went to, I am tall, like I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". So I'm long, like you see, I'm long here. I'm not compact. I'm not short and compact. I'm tall and long. My muscle looks different than your muscle. My squat looks different. I have long femur. I'm long-waisted. When I do exercises, I look different than somebody that's compact and smaller than me. But I compared myself to them, and I thought I didn't look right because I didn't look like that. I'm like, it was in my head. And I would get down on myself. How come I can't this and that? We do it. It's natural. Once I learned to love myself and meet myself where I'm at, and I say it all the time to my clients, look, love yourself where you are. We were perfectly, beautifully made, and we're taking care of ourselves. You meet yourself where you're at, and you just take the next right step, right? You just do the next right thing. And once I got it in my head to meet myself where I am and love my long muscles, my long arms, my long legs, my waist, and watch my body in the mirror move and appreciate it, and this is me, I was fine. I don't compare myself to anybody anymore. But back in the early days, I did. I was very self-conscious. Very self-conscious. Yeah, Sharia. Yeah. Vicki, you'll never forget the day that I told you it's still hard at times. It doesn't get easy. Choose your hard. That's right. It doesn't get easy. We all have hard days. We all have hard days. And Sharia says she overcomplicates everything. Yep. We gotta just keep it simple. I think that's the one thing about being on a team, and why I like to work with my clients in a group, is just to remind us of these things every day, because it's so easy to get off track on something. And every day I like to remind my clients, look, you know, of all these things I'm sharing with you, I share with my clients on a regular basis. We just need to keep hearing it all the time. Sometimes I sound like a broken record, I feel like, but then it's like, wait a minute, I have to remind myself all the time too, you know? So the comparison trap is a big one. You know, we feel inadequate. We have a lot of self-doubt. So the best way to overcome that is to set personal goals. You know, set your goals, celebrate your wins, right? Practice gratitude. Practice your gratitude. This is where journaling comes in. And I do have my journal up on Amazon. I wrote a journal, a 12-week journal for my clients to use, the K-Factor Fitness Success Journal for 12 weeks. And it's really helpful, and it gives you some prompts and helps you to journal. And the other thing is seeking support, you know, having a coach, being on a team. That helped me immensely. Bill Phillips and the transformation teams through the years kept me engaged, kept me motivated. I learned a lot from my teammates, and I'm still engaged with my teammates. And that is a huge, huge part of my success. It's actually the transformation community is like a jewel in my crown, so to speak, because I'm totally blessed to have had dear friends from the community and people in my life from the transformation community and Bill Phillips. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't have done that, and that helped me get over the comparison thing too, because we learn a lot about ourselves. The mistake number 6 was not allowing the scale to dictate my worth. I had a big problem with the bathroom scale. I would stand on it all the time. I would get frustrated. I didn't understand that muscle and fat weighed the same, but fat takes up more space than muscle. I didn't know that. I didn't understand body composition. I learned it and I know it now, but we don't know what we don't know. And I didn't know all that stuff. I don't stand on the scale. My goal is to gain muscle, and how much muscle I have, that's all I focus on. How strong I am and how much muscle I have, and my strength and my energy and my vitality. That's what I care about. I'm not standing on the bathroom scale. But in the beginning, that's all I did. And I was like glued to how my numbers were. Yes, what gets measured gets managed, but if you're standing on the scale all the time, you can have changes going on and your body composition can be changing, and it's how your clothes feel. It's the light in your eyes. It's your energy. That's what you need to pay attention to, not the number on the scale. The scale did not dictate my worth. It does not now. I could care less, I used to, but now I don't. I know how I feel, how my clothes fit, how I look, how strong I am when I come in the gym and lift every day. And yeah. So my advice to you, if you're standing on the bathroom scale all the time, forget about it. You should be showing up in the gym and making those meal preps and eating healthy. That's what you should be focusing on. Because believe me, if you're going to be lifting, doing your workouts, and your nutrition, nutrition's 80% of it anyway. You should be really focusing on that. And having whole foods and fueling your body and getting enough protein in, that's what you need to be focusing on, right? Instead of standing on the scale all the time. The other thing is, the last mistake is abandoning success. Here's the thing. I was about 2 years in, so I had achieved my goal and I'm perking along, okay, but it's only been 2 years. And I decided, I'm going to try this. So I stopped doing the Body for Life thing, and I thought, let me go try this program, I'm going to go try that program. I'm going to eat this way. I'm going to try this. So I kind of explored all these other things. You know what happened? I felt awful. It didn't work for me. I came right back to my Body for Life program that I've been doing, which is basic exercise, fundamental exercise, healthy nutrition, whole food, drinking my water, getting my rest, locking in my mindset. Basic, y'all. I just went right back to what I knew. Because all the other things, they just didn't work. And so what was funny was, here I was successful, and then I quit doing it. And I was doing other stuff. Why? I went back to what I was successful. I don't know. But that was a mistake, But as I said in the beginning, you learn from your mistakes. I went off the rails. And I learned that boring is good. Go back to doing what I was doing because it works. It works for me. I don't need all the other. And consistency is your key to success. Consistency. So you need to stay committed to your plan and keep showing up. So here's the things that, how I've stayed strong and fit for 15 years. Because a lot of people say, gosh, it's been 15 years. Haven't you ever, you just keep going, you keep showing up every day for 15 years? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I prioritize my sleep. I go to bed at 8 p.m. I get up at 4 a.m. I'm on a pretty good schedule there. Morning journaling, clarity. I exercise every morning at 6 a.m. It's non-negotiable. I meal prep, daily learning, constantly reading and learning new things, not only about my body, but about physical fitness and nutrition, and daily accountability with my team and others is really important. I'm held accountable. And I think that, learning on the learning curve, I went to the University of Florida here and I had a VO2 max test done. And for my age, I did it when I was 66. I'm now 67. But at 66 years old, my VO2 max was off the chart for my age group. And they were like, you keep doing what you're doing because you are off the chart for your age group. You're doing great. You're off the chart. So it projects, helps with your longevity and your strength, and it made me feel more confident moving forward in the future. And it was just like, it showed me that everything that I'm doing is working. It's like, wow, pat myself on the back, So those habits, those mistakes, but honestly, discipline is where it's at, the discipline. And the only way you're going to get there is to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, right? We show up when we don't feel like it. Marcia said that's her. Yeah. Jamie said she does too. So the habits that keep me going, again, journaling, set your boundaries. You need to have hard, fast boundaries. Yes, goals in stone, but your plans are in sand. Is there some flexibility? Sure. Do I say yes to everything? No. Do I say no sometimes? Yes. I used to say yes all the time. I'm pretty good at saying no now. I have hard boundaries. I'm really glad because it's allowed me to maintain healthy and fit. So I did want to share with you too that one of the main things also in my transformation journey has been helping others. And I think that's the one thing that has given me such a fulfillment and gratitude that I'm able to help others. And that's why I write every day on my Facebook page tips, inspiration, teaching things that I've learned. Every day I post as a way of giving back. And if it just helps one person get out and take a walk or make a healthy choice that day, I feel so blessed. And that is a big part of my transformation journey and continuing forward, is to be able to help others, to pay it forward, to give back to others. And it's really, really been part of my why, is to be a helper in the world. And to be a helper in the world, you've got to be strong and fit and healthy yourself so that you have strength and energy to help other people. Because if you're sick and tired and then you got to go take care of somebody who's sick and tired, That doesn't work too well. But if you're strong and you're healthy and able-bodied with a lot of extra energy and strength, you can go help other people. So think about that. Robin said the 360 scan made her feel validated. The numbers help mentally. Yes, it is. That's why everybody's transformation journey should begin on paper and pencil. And you write your goals, you write your dreams, you write your plans, you write your why. All those things are so, so important. That's where it all begins. Before you ever pick up a dumbbell, you need to understand your why. So bottom line is, and I'm going to close, it's 8:30. The bottom line is, for me, is love in action. That's how I see it. That's how I see myself as a coach, as putting information out there that I've learned and what's helped me and what's not helped me and the lessons I've learned and the mistakes I've made, is just love in action to you. To you, to help you just make that next healthy meal or go out and get a walk. So I want to inspire everybody today to get out, get a walk in. If you haven't done your workout yet today, do your workout, get your journal out, write in your journal, get your meal prep done. And if there was ever a time, this is the holiday season. All kind of things are coming at us now. And if you have seen any of my blog posts lately, I think I wrote one about stressing over the holidays. We have all kind of things coming at us. We overcommit. We get stressed out. We got financial issues. We're buying things. We got to cook. We're cleaning the house. We got to work. We're parties, and we just overcommit, and then we get stressed out. And, make that dedicated time. I'm going to work out at 6 a.m. That's when I'm going to work out. And if somebody called you up and said, hey, come meet me for coffee at 6 a.m., what are you going to say? No, I can meet you at 8. Have hard boundaries. That's just an example. But during the holiday time, I can't stress it enough. So for K-Factor coaching next year, in January, starting January 1st, I'm going to do a live at high noon, 31-day challenge starting January 1st. It's going to run from January 1st to January 31st, live at high noon. Here on my page, just like I did, we did the plank challenge, we did the push-up challenge in October, we did the plank challenge in July. We're going to do another challenge in January. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to wait and see. But January 1st, New Year's Day at high noon, I'm going to be right in here and I'll be going live. So that's how we're going to kick off 2026. And I'm excited. The other thing too, when you show up every day and you run your program and you're taking care of yourself and you're eating healthy and you're getting your workouts in and you just keep showing up every day, you're showing up. I rest on Sundays. Sundays I don't exercise. Sunday's my rest day. But when I show up 6 days a week, I don't have to worry about I'm starting over in January. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting until January 1st to start. No, start now. Then you don't have to start over. Then you just keep going. There's no starting over. You just, one day just goes into the next and you just keep going. So, Betsy, glad to see you here. And so you just keep going. So, here's cheers. Cheers to my 15 years. Cheers to my coach, Bill Phillips. Cheers to the transformation community because I am indebted. Cheers to my husband, my partner, my love, who taught me about all this, right? In the very beginning, it was him. Buy the book, Will You Help Me? And look where I am today. So I am just totally full of gratitude and love for my husband and for my community, and for all of you. And I just want to thank you for being here this morning and celebrating with me and allowing me to share. And I hope it's been inspiring to you. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'll have this on replay for those of you that maybe had to leave early. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Jamie. Erica, thank you. Cheers to everybody, because you're part of the story, right? And united, we're stronger together. We're stronger together. And I know a lot of people read my posts, and I've never met you in person, but I feel such a strong connection to those of you that are working on your health and your fitness. And you know what? If you're somebody out there and you're just thinking about it, hey, you know what? I can do this. Yes, you can. Because believe me, if I can do it, somebody that never worked out, I didn't know how to exercise, I wasn't eating right, I didn't pay attention to what I ate, it just wasn't anything I did, and now, I mean, it's just who I am and what I do. And taking care of myself, turning my health around. So at 67, I can't wait to be 68, 69, 70. Hey, when I'm 70, I'm going to be right back here. We're going to be celebrating. So everybody have a beautiful day. You can do it. You can do it. And reach out to me if you have any questions. And if anybody's interested in the K-Factor coaching and the team here, I'm Kim Knapp, your coach at the K-Factor. I'm the K-Factor, and I hold you accountable. So if anybody's interested in jumping on board, we always have room. And just reach out to me and let me know. And I'll do a phone call with you. I do talk to everybody that I coach. I do an initial phone call, so because it's important that I understand where you are, where you're at, where you want to be, and how I can help you. You're important to me. So that's kind of my coaching style. And so reach out to me. Everybody have a beautiful day. I know I am. Cheers. And it was beautiful to be with everybody. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And happy anniversary to me. Bye, everybody.